Or red light. Or green light. Red light.
Red
light.
Why she got such long hair?
I don't know.
Nope, it still has to be moving. You're gonna die right here.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm dead.
You're Yeah, I was gonna say,
anyway.
I'm pretty sure it has to be moving in a rhythm.
There was a time I actually admired this guy. There was a time I actually looked at what this guy had accomplished in his life, and I thought to myself, that's awesome. I'm glad that he has found success and that his YouTube career has taken off. But here over the last, I would say, 4 or 5 years, the very slow tumble turned into an avalanche of just bad juju all around when it came to Boogie2988. I remember when he did, back when he did the Francis videos, where he would like smash up his Xbox or something like that. The old school YouTube comedy. Absurdist. Is it real or is it fake? Sort of like how McJuggerNugger used to do that back in the day. But it would seem that he fell down the trap of just constantly begging for attention and begging for people to give him money. It's terrifying. It's terrifying, like just how quickly he fell from prominence, and then he went into this whole thing where he fired a live firearm into the air when this guy was on his property and making threats at him, which I can find myself agreeing with to a certain degree. Because, if someone's on my property making threats about, wanting to do harm to me or my friends or my family members, that's, that is, if I have that on video, I'm telling this guy, I'm calling the police and I'm showing them this video, and if you want to run for it, go ahead, but I have all the evidence I need to basically, have your ass thrown in jail. And Boogie, I don't think they're going to discuss, him, discharging the firearm or anything, because anytime someone brings that up or shows an image from it, it always gets flagged immediately. I know that, what's his name? I know that Diesel Patches, I think, did a video where he talked about it, and it got flagged immediately. And yeah, this whole thing with Boogie just...
Didn't you just talk about it, though?
Well, I did, but I didn't show a picture.
Okay,
I'm not going to show any images of that interaction because it's a scary thing. Seeing real drama unfold like that, and someone who's very mentally, very mentally taxed at that moment. I was worried when I saw that video, but I remember Boogie was an advocate for speaking out on people getting made fun of on the internet for being overweight. I remember, dude, he wanted to please everybody, and he wound up pissing off Anita Sarkeesian because
That's when I originally heard about him, actually, because one of my favorite YouTubers was backing him up on that situation and being like, he doesn't need to apologize to her. She's fucking Satan.
She is. She went out of her way to, get in his face and be like, how dare you, talk about, do this and do that. It's
basically you can't talk about your problems because you're a white man. There are women here, and they're the only ones whose voices matter,
And I would say to her at that moment, it's how evil are you to try and say that to someone like that?
Extremely evil, dude.
She's a self-absorbed,
people who still, fucking think that being on her side is the right side for, the Gamergate thing just fucking blow me away. I'm like, have you not listened to the things she said?
Yeah.
Do you not have ears and eyes?
Do I agree with everything that happened during Gamergate? No. Do I think that Zoe Quinn and Brianna Wu deserve to get doxxed the way they did? No. But
do I think they deserve it now after some of the other shit they did? A little more.
Potentially, yeah. But at the same time,
especially Zoe for making a dude fucking kill himself.
Yeah, that was just... And not only that, but Zoe, the way that she went about it, like she literally, used her position to get higher up in the company and let other people go who she saw as rivals or saw as like former or people who were like former romantic entanglements. Yeah. That's the other thing too.
All three of those chicks are piece of shit people.
Yeah, and it's a trifecta of terrible. And I hate the fact that people on the internet took it too far. I really do, because that's not the answer. That is not what you need to do. You need to present your argument and it's almost like in certain ways these women are praying that people take it too far so that way they can just keep playing the victim.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that, because if you're always playing the victim, then people will just eternally...
It's a good way to disguise the fact that you're actually the villain.
Yeah, that's 100% the proper way to disguise that you're the villain. But we're not here to talk about Gamergate or Anita or Zoe or Brianna or any of the other people who were affected by that whole situation almost 10 years ago. We are here to talk about Boogie2988. And Sunny V2 has taken the time to basically break down why Boogie has failed not only himself but his audience. And I guess we're gonna hop in and see what Sunny's got to say. What do you got?
Boogie recently announcing that he's basically broke shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, as if you follow all of his incredibly poor choices made over the last 4 and a bit years, you'll understand that bankruptcy was almost unavoidable. So let's begin by looking at October 2018, in which Boogie's main source of income, his YouTube channel, slowly began to die. Up until this point, Boogie had established a reputation as an overweight yet friendly nerdy gamer, who people considered charming since he was totally fine with each of his flaws. When he wasn't playing his fat Francis character, Boogie was telling wholesome stories about his personal life, with one of the more notable ones being a video titled What It's Like to Be Broke. In this video, Boogie explained that he had grown up in a fairly poor environment.
So they had decent income, it's just they didn't like to spend it on us kids, at least on me.
And that as a result of that, he was now much wiser with his income.
Now, you know what I do with my money? Every single dime, every single penny goes into the bank, because I don't ever want to live that way again.
Which felt both inspiring and relatable, especially since Boogie highlighted that he now only spent money on things that would improve his videos.
I used every dime to buy better computer equipment, to get better. And after just a year and a half, I was able to go off because I started earning my YouTube income.
This desire to improve the content unsurprisingly resulted in better uploads, and by early 2014, Boogie passed 1 million subscribers before uploading a new video simply titled How Much Money Does Boogie2988 Make, which felt like yet another wholesome yet modest upload, which had clearly been made with the goal of helping his audience.
I want to make sure you have the tools in mind so that you fully understand how much income we already have coming in and make an educated decision of whether or not you ever want to participate in that kind of thing.
Boogie went on to politely imply that he was making over $100,000 per year from YouTube, which didn't include third-party income like Patreon.
So let's take, for example, a YouTube channel similar to mine that's bringing in 10 million views per month. If a YouTube channel is bringing in 10 million views per month, divide that by 1,000, you've got 10,000. Multiply that by $1, and you'll have a really good idea of how much ad revenue that channel's bringing in.
And that if you counted his YouTube channel as an asset, he himself was worth more than $1 million.
Boogie, are you a millionaire? Well, it depends on how you calculate millionaire. If you include my YouTube channel as it is, yes. After 3 more years, I'll have earned by then $1 million total in YouTube ad revenue.
This was followed by Boogie reassuring his audience that all of the money was being used wisely.
The majority of the money we make goes into the bank. We do not live very large by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, obviously, I'm large, but we do not spend a grotesque amount of money.
Which led to more positive comments such as, wild guess, but he's very rich now. He deserves it. He's one of the only YouTubers that didn't let the money and fame get to his head. He's still just as humble and cool as when he started. I admire that. Amazing video, Boogie. You're one of the realest, most transparent YouTubers out there, and please know that your fans appreciate it. I clicked on this video randomly and I stayed to watch, and to be honest, I'm really happy this guy makes a lot of money.
It just makes it even more sad, man.
But I'm just glad that he makes money.
Because you see...
It's like, how did he go from this to what's happening now?
It's because of...
Seems like he used to have his head screwed on tight and he lost some of the bolts or something.
He's very humble and I respect that a lot. This positive sentiment toward Boogie resulted in more views, subscribers and Patreon members, which strengthened his financial position immediately, whilst also giving him the chance to stream on Twitch, opening up another source of income which kept him financially stable during the adpocalypse.
I will be fine. Losing my YouTube ad revenue will hit us pretty hard, but I've diversified our income.
Things were going so well for Boogie that in August of 2017, he paid for weight loss surgery.
I'm home from surgery, that everything went well. The surgery went way better than I had expected. The doctor did it in a very short period of time.
However, while this would initially improve Boogie's health dramatically,
I'm 110 pounds down since the pre-op diet, and then I lost 7.5 inches from my waistline.
It would eventually contribute to him going broke in an unexpected way. Boogie explained in a video that for married people, the weight loss surgery tremendously increases the likelihood that you'll end up getting divorced.
The surgery and the recovery from it is really, really hard on a marriage. 85% of marriages fail after the surgery within the first 2 years.
He added that in the lead up to the surgery, his marriage was already in a rough spot.
Our marriage was far from perfect. One major issue that was persistent throughout the entire marriage, and that was my anxiety disorder.
And as a result of him now being in a healthier condition, his wife suggested that they should divorce.
She told me that she was thinking about separating now that I was out of the surgery and now that I was nice and healthy. We talked about it and decided that she should take a break. 2 weeks into that, she called up and
yeah, same.
It's like, why do people wait until someone's doing better to be like, all right, now that you're doing better, fuck you, I'm out. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
I don't understand it either, dude.
I can only imagine being, like, super happy that, like, someone I was with had decided to get healthier and, like, everything, but...
Yeah.
It's like, from the sound of it, like, from what I hear, like, a lot of people, like, if they start doing better and get healthier too, though, that's when they decide, is like, you know what, I'm better than you are, and I deserve better, so I'm going to leave and find somebody I think's better than you now.
I don't understand that. The whole deal with you improving yourself, it's not just for your partner, it's for yourself. Mm-hmm. It's for your own personal like well-being. But for someone to do that, for someone to leave you, I hate to bring up this stat too, but whenever a cancer diagnosis happens, a lot of relationships fall apart once the cancer diagnosis is announced. Because there was one I read about, dude, this guy was diagnosed with like a tumor on his spine, like a tumor right at the base of his spine near his pelvis. And they said that hopefully they caught it early enough to where it hasn't spread to your pelvis, because if it spread to your pelvis, you're basically boned. And the person was in a relationship, and the person who was in their relationship posted all these pictures of just being like, I'll stick by my man, I'll stick by this person, I am dedicated to the cause and like helping him get better. And within 3 months,
that's a red flag to me right there. I'm like, why are you attention seeking off of me being sick?
And initially no red flags were raised about that, but then once this happened, like 3 months later, she not only cheated on him, but she cheated on him and left, just left him like just after he had passed out from what was it? It was he had just had his treatment. What is it? It's the chemical that they use. Chemo. Thank you. He just had his chemo treatment and he passed out. And then she basically, like, took a bunch of his shit and left.
What the fuck, man?
And then when he tried to find her and sue her to get it back, she basically said, oh, no, he's abusive, he's this, he's that. And everyone just was like, okay, where's the evidence of this? And then basically he didn't have time to fight this because, he was fighting for his life. I mean, thankfully he got through it, though. But the fact that she did that proves to me that she is a cold-blooded person and has no business being in a serious relationship.
And that's one of the reasons I have trust issues, because I think, unfortunately, there are more people like that in the world than there are people that aren't.
I hate to say it, but in some cases I believe that too. Anyway.
Said that she had made her decision, that she wanted things to be a more permanent change, and that we should start moving in that direction.
Boogie explained that his wife was extremely generous in the divorce, having stated that she wanted far less than 50% of the finances.
And she's like, I want enough to where I know I'm going to be taken care of. And I'm like, okay. So she gave me a number, and I'm like, but that's not half.
More?
It wasn't half of what we were worth.
It was less.
It was less.
However, as a result of the law, Boogie ended up giving her half of what he had anyway.
She's legally entitled to 50% of everything we own. You make sure it's half, so she has no recourse moving forward.
While Boogie's financial position had taken a pretty substantial hit, his audience was still cheering for him with comments such as, I hope this is the birth of a new Boogie, a healthy Boogie, no baggage, just a happy, healthy, outgoing Boogie. However, after his marriage would officially come to an end, the opposite of this happened.
My brain is kind of in a situation where it's just chaos all the time. It's just chaos. This emotional stew in my brain all the time of positive feelings, negative feelings, numbness, frustration, and anger, you know.
Not only had the split resulted in a massive blow to Boogie's mental health, but throughout the process, the Storytime rambling videos, which were once uplifting, inspirational, and designed to help his viewers, began to feel like they were being made with the goal of receiving sympathy pity from the audience. Additionally, Boogie's positive can-do attitude, where he wanted to invest his savings into making excellent content for the viewers, had transformed into this complete lack of confidence for the future of his channel.
And I'm not smart enough to be able to figure that stuff out. I'll never be good at titles. I'll never be good at thumbnails. I'm not even that good at video creation.
Leading him to develop an attitude of just wanting to get by as opposed to wanting to grow his audience.
As long as my rent is paid, as long as my mortgage is paid, as long as I can keep the lights on, as long as I can support myself and the people that I currently employ, hey, I'm happy with that.
That's a problem that a lot of creators I've talked to have ran into, where they feel like they get to a certain point, they feel like they've peaked, and they just coast. And in them coasting, they only go downhill very slowly and very, like, it's a very slow and painful death of, like, your channel and everything. And if you're not wanting to grow or anything like that, it's like us, like, I know we did reactions for the longest time and just reactions, but us trying to expand out and do other things like the gaming channel, us expanding out and trying to do other things like movie making, which got a bit of good news on that, by the way. The footage is finally ready to be picked up by. I'm actually probably going to go down tomorrow and pick up the footage from the brothers.
Hell yeah.
And hopefully we can, like I was telling Jake, hopefully we can have this thing out like right after New Year's. Like
That'd be kick-ass.
that's what I'm hoping. And
Still got to do the CG stuff though, right?
that's what's going to take the most time. And I've already got a few artists in mind that I'm going to talk to about it, and hopefully they can do good work. Fingers crossed. Anyway,
But we're basically always talking about like pretty much like what people would find more interesting and entertaining. Like we're always just trying to be more entertaining for people without straying from like being real, you know. Like,
well,
so what can we do that we think people would enjoy, basically?
Well, and I know there's going to be people who see like how we react to things and be like, "Oh, that's fake. That's fake." And I've seen plenty
If you
of
think my reactions to things are fake, you're not paying attention.
well, no, and that's why
I don't react unless there's something worth reacting to.
Yeah, and I know that there's other reaction channels out there who are obviously fake and who are obviously a lot bigger than we are, and that's fine. If that's how they get over and how they make their living on this platform, all right. But will it last them? Will they last if they keep faking like how they feel about something? I mean, probably not. Probably not. It all depends.
I really don't care.
I don't
just
either.
Doing what we do.
I'm just exactly. I enjoy what we do and I love what we do. I enjoy the fact that we have our Discord patrons and also our fans who support us on Patreon. I don't speak out on it enough because I'm afraid of seeming too gushy or too mushy about it. But y'all are everything, man. If it weren't for y'all, we wouldn't be where we are, and I can't express enough gratitude for everything y'all have given us. The fact that you are so dedicated to us on Patreon and on Discord, like you're always on Discord sharing stuff, always in general chat, like just talking and just like, and I know I don't chime in as much as I used to, and it's because I just have so much going on, and I really wish I did have more time to do that.
I just always try to keep in mind, like, how can we give back, you know? Like, how can we make sure that we
in which,
continue doing something that makes it worth them putting the time investment into us?
And you know what? I was going to wait until, like, December rolled around before I announced this, but I'll just go ahead and announce it right now. We're going to be doing a Christmas giveaway. We're going to be doing a thing where we hold a raffle on our Discord, and we are going to be opening gifts.
I didn't even know about this.
Yes, we're going to be opening gifts. We're going to do, I think, maybe a 5 or 6 gift giveaway. They're going to be under its own little personal tree, and it's going to be at random, whichever gifts we pick. Now, there are going to be certain gifts that we can only do stateside because, you know, shipping, you know, finding ways to get stuff shipped overseas. We've dealt with it in the past, and I just don't like the security of that. Instead, we're going to be doing gift cards that we can just give away to anyone worldwide. But then we're going to have stuff that's domestic only, and we can really only send like U.S. Canada, like, you know, the U.S. mainland U.S. and Canada. So, you know, like physical stuff like a new keyboard or a new gaming headset or a new gaming mouse, something like that. And we want to give stuff away like that. We want to be able to give back to our community as best we can. And if I can afford to get,
only people who actually are watching this video in the middle of this video's discussion will actually know, so we'll have to re-announce it.
But don't worry, I'll do a video where I talk about it by itself. But anyway, yeah, might as well just go ahead and get back to this.
The final video related to his divorce, in which Boogie explained that he now fully owned his house again, happened to have been uploaded in October 2018, which was the very same month where Boogie began to lose subscribers. The decline will be addressed in a video titled State of the Channel 2019, in which he mentioned that the breakup had a significant impact on the channel's viewership.
2018, as we've talked about, was one of the roughest years of my life, and it really showed here on the channel.
Before going on to state that the Storytime Pity Party videos were also impacting the channel negatively.
I know, just complain and whine and just be miserable. Sharing who and what I am has been counterproductive in quite a bit in the last year or so. Mostly when it comes to the mental issues, the anxiety, the depression, stuff like that.
Boogie would conclude the video by stating that he was very excited about the future.
I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm very engaged and excited about what we will be doing here on the channel.
However, only 3 days after this video was uploaded, a now infamous mega thread would be posted to Reddit, which would go on to significantly impact Boogie's reputation. It was titled The Hidden Truth Boogie Doesn't Want You to Know, and it featured over 5,000 words, showcasing that Boogie was...
I remember this thread. This was... Nobody knew about this. I want to emphasize that. Nobody knew about this. And if Boogie would have just ignored it, I think it would have just gone away. Because I remember it was, I forget which commenter YouTube, maybe Scarce, talked about it, and Scarce pointed out like how nobody was talking about this. Nobody. Until Boogie brought it up. Sometimes people destroy themselves and you know, but just can't help but anytime criticism comes their way, they feel like they have to just like jump on it and like it's like honestly, sometimes it's just best to let it be, and if it does get popular enough to where people are confronting you about it, then talk about it. But I don't know, this whole situation right here, I remember this coming up.
Seems like they got a lot of receipts in there though. So.
Yeah, and the thing with it is the receipts are one thing, but it's how like Boogie handles it that completely botches the whole situation. Anyway, I'll just go ahead.
Wasn't exactly the nice guy he tried to portray. The thread brought up topics such as his behavior on stream, various edgy comments he had made over the years, as well as the way he acted in his marriage, with commenters stating this document is up there with the Constitution and the Magna Carta. However, the thread was posted to a fairly unknown subreddit, and if Boogie had simply ignored the thread, people likely would have forgotten about it, although this isn't what would happen. Boogie instead decided to wage a war against the person who began the mega thread.
I started a war. This guy has been coming at me for 5 years.
Before going on to complain about the criticism in countless different videos.
This subreddit has been actively attacking me and going through everything I've ever said and ever done on the internet For the last
That's why we don't give
3
attention to
years.
those few people who have tried to do like reasons why we suck and shit. You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've watched. I've seen
It's
those
like
videos.
they have fucking like obvious like shit up that's like a attempt to gain clout.
Well,
Like, just by like trying to be like, oh, they're bad. They're bad at what they do. And it's just like we're
dude.
just kind of like, all right, that's funny, and move along. We don't get on a video and be like, this motherfucker right here. No, this motherfucker right here
We're gonna ruin
doesn't
him.
deserve attention. Like,
yeah, the
it's
one
like
that,
come up with something more interesting than fucking just trying to like hate on people that a lot of people obviously are fine with.
So, the one dude I watched, it was hilarious. I forget, it was this British dude. I forget his name, but he was just like the Renegades. They try to pass themselves off as this like cool reaction channel where they just try to be real with people. The only thing real about these people is that this fucker up front is really fat. And I'm like, and your point? Yeah, and he's just like. It's like their content is boring and this and that, and this is the most hilarious part, and this is why this video isn't up anymore. He's like, I want to point this out real quick. They react to someone a lot, someone that I greatly respect, and someone who I think is one of the best content creators on this platform. Mini Lad isn't.
Oh, that aged well.
Oh.
That aged extremely well.
Oh, I
Didn't it?
just remember just thinking back on it, just like, oh, I wonder if that video's still up. And I looked
Him
for
logging
it.
onto his computer. All right, what we gonna find on the internet today, lads? Any lad was accused of
Fuck.
Fuck.
And I've looked for it, and I can't find it anywhere. He obviously deleted it. Just like,
Yeah.
whoops. Big whoops. Oh god. People are gonna come at you no matter what you do. Dude, you could cure cancer and AIDS and, build 1,000 bridges. There's still going to be people who hate you for no other reason than the fact that you exist.
You can think we're not real all you like, but me thinking that's fucking hilarious that you
That's
signed
pretty
Mini
real.
Lad for that before that happened.
Tried to hardcore simp for Mini Lad.
Me thinking that's hilarious is real as hell, dude. So.
2017, Boogie was handling criticism much more effectively, even stating that some of the points were valid.
A lot of people have been discussing me over the past couple weeks. I've been on the front page of Reddit, and they tend to discuss me in a very negative light, which is reasonable.
And obviously, Boogie's new 2019 strategy of trying to stop the criticism only led to more criticism. 3 months after the mega thread was posted, Boogie would upload a new video titled "Taking a Break, I Give Up, You Guys Win," in which he'd state that he needed a short break as a result of being anxious and nervous. With fewer uploads and a declining reputation, his monthly subscriber count began to fall off a cliff, losing 5,000, 14,000, 28,000, before losing another 42,000 in August 2019, representing a decline of more than 100,000 subscribers in only 4 months. Rather than improving the
like
content,
half our
Boogie ramped up the
subscribers.
complaints and apologies, which not only led to a decrease in views from an average of 10 million per month to 2 million per month, but it also led to comments from his audience such as, "I used to watch every video before. For me, you were like the Mr. Rogers of YouTube. Soft, understanding, and compassionate. Lately, it had just been apologies and complaining. I miss the old content, not because of Francis or gaming or whatever, but because of that person."
Sorry, I can't take your name, like this person posting this seriously, when your name on Twitter is literally Kylo Render Me Naked. I'm sorry.
I don't know. It's funny.
And your handle is Yas Queen. Oh, I'm sorry. Yas_Queen.
Despite Boogie's clear decline in his views, subscribers, and income, his spending habits hadn't changed one bit.
That's
As midway through his collapse, he'd announced that he was taking on a $100,000 loan to purchase a Tesla.
I ended up buying the X. I still haven't got it fully financed yet. I'm having to finance it, obviously. Oh my god, I just put myself $100,000 in debt. Like,
Your own fault. Dude, I'm about to take on a debt too. This house, I'm going to be putting solar panels on it. Is that a financial risk? Absolutely. But I'm doing it because I feel I have the financial stability to do that. And plus, I'm not gonna go buy a $100,000 car. Dude, there's plenty of other Teslas out. Dude, you get a Model 3 for like $30,000. Why would you spend $100,000 on an X? Why? Why? It's like, Teslas. I'm gonna buy the most expensive model. No, get a 3, dude. The main reason why I'm wanting to get the solar panels and everything as well is because I want to be self-sustaining, and also I want to be able to. I'm not gonna get all political and be like going green and all that, but I will say that there is a benefit to it, and it's one of the things that I've been dreaming of my whole life. Is like, hey, I got solar panels on my house, and I just thought about like how that would make finances a lot easier, because power bill's a lot around here, especially considering you got that gaming PC, your gaming PC, Kate and Kathan's gaming PCs, my gaming PC. It's like, Jesus, that's a lot of juice. And plus, not only that, but our recording studio that we have over there, all those amps draw a lot of wattage, and if we're wanting to be more serious about recording music and all that, we're gonna need some help in terms of like power draw and all that. And if solar helps with that, then awesome. But anyway, sorry.
Car payment's $1,700 a month or something like that. That's more money than I make on Twitch. That's like half of my YouTube revenue this month.
Boogie then made a tweet about how expensive the car was, giving him another opportunity to make himself look like an idiot.
I tweeted out that I was not going to be able to afford this car.
Reddit and Twitter lost their minds. Oh, are you trying to manipulate people into giving you money?
The answer is yes. Give me some money. If you guys want to help me pay for my Tesla, please go ahead and dig deep. I sure would like a free Tesla. Reach down in your pockets and give me $100,000 tonight.
Which becomes even worse after he'd mentioned that he still owed a bunch of money on his house.
My house is worth $300,000. I still owe $200,000 in the house.
And that he knew the Tesla was going to decline in value over time.
But that car is just going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as it goes.
In the year that followed, Boogie's Patreon members almost halved, from 120 down to 65, partially as a result of him taking long breaks from creating content.
You'll notice that for the last 3 weeks, I've really not been updated. I have not streamed in 3 weeks.
Which accompanied the transformation of his comment section from a once positive place full of supporters to a wasteland of negativity full of detractors. It's incredible how openly money-oriented this guy is. This guy talks like a minister from some cheesy, scammy late-night ministry where you're supposed to send a $50 check for good luck. Imagine this guy would win the lottery. He'd be broke within 12 months.
Hate to say it, but that's pretty on the nose. That middle one, though, oh gosh. He does seem like a shitty televangelist, just like, the Lord wants you to give me $50 so that we can, actually we need more money because, the good Lord says I need $1,700 a month for reasons beyond your understanding. The good Lord would really enjoy it if you gave me $1,700 a month.
Which would eventually turn out to be somewhat accurate. After his back and forth with Frank Hassel in early 2021, Boogie had to shell out a bunch of money for legal fees.
That's the Frank Hassel. That's the dude that, the shooting incident happened. And you got to be careful with that, Sonny. People have gotten in a lot of trouble showing anything to do with that incident that has actual video from it. Just
black that screen out.
Just in case, yeah.
Let me point out just how expensive all of this was. And obviously, I took money out of my bank account and I paid for it out of pocket. This cost tens of thousands of dollars to fight.
Which also resulted in Boogie producing less content.
I was advised by everyone to live stream less, to make less YouTube videos, to say less things that could be taken out of context and used against me before we had a result, because from Reddit and 4chan that's what they like to do to me. But that cost me a small fortune and lost wages and lost ad revenue as well.
However, thankfully, according to a video titled I Am Finally Rich, How Crypto Made Me Rich, Boogie apparently had no financial problems whatsoever. In the video, he explained that back in 2019, Boogie had taken a massive gamble by purchasing a bunch of cryptocurrency, and by early 2021, he had quadrupled his money.
I basically took every dime I had in liquid funds and invested it in a huge gamble. I invested pretty much everything I had into cryptocurrency. I invested all the way back here, and yeah, that's where we currently are with that market. So to say that I doubled my money is an understatement. In fact, I did more than that.
It's always the Bitcoin stuff that causes the shady shit. Because now, I show Speed is in a lot of trouble right now because he did a whole cryptocurrency thing where he brought these people on and they were trying to they're trying to get people to sign up to their cryptocurrency and crypto stuff, and turns out it's all a big scam, huge scam. And now Speed has egg on his face because of it. And now there's people who are trying to defend. It's like, oh, he's only a kid. He's only 17. This, that. It's like, okay, how come a 17-year-old is pimping out a friggin' cryptocurrency thing? Why is a 17-year-old pimping out a cryptocurrency scam? And why are y'all not just? I don't get it. Cryptocurrency is a dark market anyway, and you got to be careful on that. I mean, I know someone who got in early, and so far as I know, has gotten out really well with it. But yeah, you got to be careful. Anyway.
Boogie then tried to pathetically coax his audience into trying to give him more money.
Never feel pressured to get one of those memberships down below. Never feel pressured to subscribe on Twitch. Never feel pressured to make a donation or interact with one of my sponsors. Never feel pressured to buy a t-shirt.
Before going on to state that he planned on taking the money out of crypto to put it into a safer investment.
And that's if I don't take the money and invest it in something that will make me money, which I am most certainly going to do.
However, as highlighted by almost every comment, the video aged incredibly poorly, because only a year after posting it, Boogie uploaded a new video titled I Need Your Help, in which he explained that he had lost almost all of his money to the crypto market and now required donations from the audience.
Well,
crypto market crashed.
Making. I spent a tremendous amount of money on dumb things, but the biggest issue is that I had a nice big nest egg, but I put my money in the crypto market in the wrong section, and I pretty much lost most of everything.
This is the most interesting case study, watching someone who hasn't had to work in over a decade finally have to go back to work. I remember him saying, "Don't worry about me. I'm financially secure to the point that if I stop making videos tomorrow, I can live comfortably for the rest of my life." Just remember that the reason this video was filmed in his garden is because if it was filmed in his office, we'd all be able to see his thousands of dollars worth of arcade machines, magic cards, and gaming memorabilia. While it's almost impossible to find a single positive comment on the entire video, Boogie would receive $1,109 in donations. However, this small figure was certainly at the expense of his dignity and reputation. Boogie hasn't seen a single month of positive subscriber growth since May of 2019, almost 4 years ago, and with no clear desire to change any of his daily habits, it's unlikely that his YouTube channel or financial situation will see any kind of recovery anytime soon.
Yeah.
It's like, which I'm absolutely going to do. Well, that was a lie.
Yeah.
So that was a lie.
So that was a fucking lie. So yeah. Okay. Boogie.
So that's the thing, is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is technically gambling.
Technically, yes.
And you can get addicted to it.
So.
And that, what do people do a whole lot of the time is they'll go to a casino, they'll get a bunch of wins, they'll end up a bunch of money, and they'll fucking stay at the casino. You know what I did after I got up about $350 from when I walked in?
You got up and you walked the fuck out.
It's like, y'all have a good day.
Yeah.
I was like, I just took a free trip to Cherokee. Like, fuck yes.
Well, my whole deal, Cherokee, similar situation. Although I should have got out just a little bit earlier, and I'd have walked out with even more money.
Dude, I lost 2 hands, and I was like, y'all have a good day. I
think it was like 6 hands for me.
I was like, that's $30 less than I could have had, so I'm out.
Yeah, for me it was like 6 hands. I was up $600 on the house.
Not to mention the lady sitting next to me was pissing me off because she was complaining about me and my friend sitting down at the table because she hadn't won a hand since we sat down. I'm just like, yeah, because that's totally my fault.
Well, in her mind, you were catching all her cards.
Yeah.
Like that's their mindset. It's like it's bullshit. No, like you want to complain, talk to the dealer. They're the ones who are like shuffling the cards. So, above all, when I sat down there at that table, I sat down there with $50 and I went up to $600. I think it was in like 2 or 3 hours. I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get $600, and I cashed out. I cashed out, I think it was like 300 of it, and I took 300 back to the table, and I went back there, and this old Asian dude comes and he sits down, he sits his chips down on the table, he's like, Jambuda! I'm like, okay, what's this? 6 hands later, like the $300 that I put on the table, I was down to about just over 100. I was like, yeah, okay, I need to piece the fuck out of here before it gets even worse. And I stood up, and I was
like, "No, where are you going?"
And I stood up and started walking out, and he's just like, "Hey, where you going?" I'm like, "You cleaned me out, dude. I know when I'm beat. Hey, have a good night." I flipped the dealer. I think it was a tip of like $25, and as soon as I'm walking away, he like, "Bullshit! You got like $300 in your pocket. I know it." I'm like, "Yeah, that guy's a fucking mind reader. I'm getting the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
But anyway, Boogie deserving his failure. I mean, the guy has done everything wrong since his divorce. Me and Chad watching some of his live streams and the heavy amount of cringe that is on there, and just I hope that Boogie gets the help that he needs to put himself in a better mindset for the internet. But I think right now he just wears his emotions on his sleeves, and he just lets everything get to him.
Well, now that I'm looking back at it, it's like apparently he got good press at first for talking about his financial shit, but
yeah,
I just think talking about your financial shit online is just kind of not the best.
It's a dangerous
to be
ploy.
Talking about.
It's a dangerous ploy. I mean, I don't talk about my finances on here. I mean, by no means am I in a bad situation, but by no means am I like YouTube rich or anything like that. I mean, I have fun. I mean, I have fun when I can, but I try not to put myself at financial risk because I don't want the U.S. government knocking down my door because of taxes. That's the big thing. It's just like because the audit is coming next year, and it's like I'm afraid. Like even though I've done everything in my power to ensure that I'm not going to be in trouble, I'm still afraid.
The U.S. government just coming in like, y'all got any money you been hiding?
Y'all got any of that YouTube
I know
money?
you've been stashing something under the table somewhere.
It's like I'm like, no, I've reported everything. I'm not a thief. And they're like, I call bullshit on that. Let me check your finances real quick. And they just rake me over
Dissolve
the
IRS.
Huh?
Dissolve the IRS.
I could agree with that.
They were made after World War II, or during World War II for a reason, and they were not meant to last past it.
Also, audit the IRS. Audit the federal government. It's needed. We need to
I would say dissolve the IRS. I don't think it should be a thing anymore.
Yeah.
It should not be a thing when we're not in a time of war.
I agree. That people forget that. People forget that the IRS was only signed in was only supposed to be signed in when we were at war. That's it. Outside of that, didn't have to exist. I see no problem with this. Anyway, I think that's going to do it, everybody. This was Sunny D2. Boogie2988 deserves his failure. If y'all want to see more from Sunny D2, click his name. And until next time, I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
We'll see you later, everybody. Peace.